volunteer to do the recap for last session? What was that?
Hello, buddy.
Never mind, I was making a joke, but my mic was muted, so never mind.
Okay. If we have no takers, then I can do the recap.
I don't mind doing a recap if save you the trouble.
Okay, that works.
So the last session was actually a relatively short session. We were down a couple of party members. So what we accomplished was pretty much a little bit of just horsing around in the Shrine of Luck in Philandrin. Philandrin? Is that the name of the town?
Phandalin.
Phandalin? Yeah, all right. In Phandalin, and we spent a little bit of time debating what our next move would be. We decided that we would do as a party is we would go to investigate the Goblin Cave, the site of where the party had been ambushed the day before. Off of the bodies of one of the goblins in that ambush, we found a note that indicated that they had taken our sort of professional acquaintance, a dwarf named dwarf's name is Gundren. Gundren Rockseeker. And that they had taken him to their hideout, that they had wanted him captured alive. And so we decided that if we had a chance of rescuing a hostage, we would go investigate the Goblin Cave. We retraced our steps, went back to the site of the ambush. Outside the entrance to the Goblin Cave, we found a sort of a party of 3 goblins standing watch. We quickly dispatched 2 of them, interrogated the 3rd one, and subsequently let him free because we're generous, merciful people. And inside the entrance to the Goblin Cave, we found 3 starved, chained wolves who were guarding the entrance. So, given their the clearly cruel and inhumane conditions that they were being kept under, we decided that the only thing we could do would be to feed those poor little animals. And so, after a quite lucky animal handling check, we fed bits of the 2 goblins that we killed to the wolves, who seem to be our friends, and we are now at the entrance of the cave in the presence of the wolves.
Yes. I would like
Don't
to
skip
add...
over the bandit that we kept hostage, that we chopped up the other goblin companions in front of. I feel like that's an important...
And forced him to watch.
I was trying to put a positive spin on the situation.
Oh, sorry. Was you not? God.
Yeah.
This is why you keep getting in trouble.
I mentioned that we interrogated him.
He was forced to watch them hack up his friends.
The video up already, so yeah, I live streamed it. I'm sorry.
That's amazing. And then Bliss did give the goblin 1 gold piece before sending him on his way, starting out helping with what is sure to be astronomical therapeutic bills. Yes. So very, very solid recap. A couple of smaller notes just to make note of. You guys did travel from Phandalin to the cave by foot, deciding that it would be safer and more thorough to travel by foot rather than by cart. Baylor, a reminder for you that you want to speak to Harbin or whoever is in town when you guys get back to Phandalin to see why the town is such a target. You guys did leave Layla with Sister Gariel. And I think that is it. Okay. Very, very.
I have one question.
Yes.
I'm having issues trying to pull up the session on Fantasy Grounds.
Okay.
It's like not working for me.
Okay. When you first launch Fantasy Grounds, towards the bottom left, there is a box that will say "Check for updates." Is there a green bar around that?
Oh, yeah, there is.
Okay. So you'll want to click on that, and then you'll get a different. There's pop-ups galore out the ass on this.
Yeah, got it.
And then after that, you're going to want to re-enter your password and settings, and then you'll be able to launch and join.
All right. Just want to make sure.
Perfect. Okay. So we will reshare the map once you get in. But to start out, does everybody else have the map and can see what your line of vision gives at least?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Basil, having been traveling for quite some time, following the information that you had received about the trouble with the caravans from Durgan, traveling up the Tribord Trail, you found what appears to be the remnants of a scene of what was that? Oh, I think.
Sorry, ignore me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I should have muted.
You're quite all right. What appears to be like the remnants of a scene of some kind of conflict or encounter. Arrows littered across the ground. Dirt stained with blood, torn fragments of cloths, and small humanoid tracks. Goblin size, you could say. Following the tracks up into some of the denser foliage, you find yourself looking at a trail off the beaten path where the tracks continue. With those tracks, you had seen that there were some drag marks. Something heavy had been being pulled with them. Continuing to follow those tracks and trails, you find yourself coming across other tracks, larger humanoid tracks, some larger animal tracks, the imprints of soft padded paws pressed deep into the earth, almost as though they were either in tow with the tracks of the smaller creatures dragging, or following as well. After a little more time, you come to a small stream that flows slowly but steadily. The tracks become harder to follow here, but with your keen mind and determination, you press on. You come to a clearing. The dense foliage and trees open up, almost making way for the stream that, as you follow with your eyes, you see is coming out of the mouth of a cave. Up ahead, you see some moving figures. Not goblin, humans. They had come from out over here, just behind this dense thicket, carrying some bloody mounds of something. And you can reposition yourself on the map if you would prefer to stay kind of hidden out of sight or anything like that. But as you come to this area, seeing these people, how would you proceed? They seem to be unaware of your presence.
Can I do some kind of check to see how I feel, like if they have ill intent or if they're on the level, like if they're good? aligned?
Absolutely. That would go ahead and give me an insight check. We'll do a vibe check here. The DC, it's not going to be astronomically high, but it will be a little bit higher. As this is, and you'll see it's a hodgepodge, a motley crew, if you will, of people that you've not seen before. Okay, let's see. Okay, with a 9, it's kind of hard to know for sure. They don't seem to be carrying themselves in an angry or nefarious manner. They don't move the way that thugs or bandits do. But it's slightly suspicious that they're coming out of the woodworks covered in blood and carrying what. Go ahead and give me a perception. We'll see how much you can actually see. Very nice. It is unmistakable that they are carrying some kind of dismembered, hacked up flesh. You see tinges of green mixed in with the red flesh from within, where the cuts, and I use that word loosely, have been made. So it's hard to kind of gauge their demeanor or intentions as they are walking around with dismembered body parts. But there isn't anything on their clothing or their gear that would tie them to any kind of groups that you would be familiar with, like the Zentarum or anything that has a little bit of a shadier feel to it.
Okay, I see them. I become a little wary. I put my one hand on my bow. I raise my other hand and I walk towards them. And when I get within earshot, I say, hello.
All of you would hear this. Those of you that are inside the mouth of the cave, it's a little bit quieter, sounds a little more distant than it actually is as the water is moving and you hear the chomping and slopping of the wolves. But you hear an unfamiliar voice greeting you.
Do you hear that? What is that? What is that noise? Is that
Doesn't
coming
seem-
from down the cave or behind us?
From behind us. I think it's not a goblin.
Would I
Are
be able
you
to see both of them or just one of them?
Would you be able to, what was that?
See both of them, or is it just one of them that I can see at the minute?
Right now we're playing that it's just one until we get Umaril in.
Alright. No, it's not a goblin. Someone behind us. Let's hold back going into the cave just yet.
It's alright, we might have more food for the wolf.
Oh,
I head to the
made,
entrance of the cave.
it made sense to slap you in the back of the head.
But the puppies
And oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As I continue walking and I get within earshot, I say, I've been tasked by Durnan to investigate the caravan mishaps. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
What name do you speak of?
Durnan.
Can I roll against him?
Absolutely, go ahead
Durgan.
and roll a history. You're trying to see if you recognize the name at all?
Just if we can trust him, if he's telling you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and roll insight.
I'm really sorry, keep doing that. Just take.
It's okay.
Oh, the first one was a good one anyway.
It's okay.
Thank God.
There is definitely some hesitation as he approaches. Your ears twitch slightly as you listen in to the inflection of his voice, looking for any kind of waver or hints of dishonesty. But what you sense is that the hesitation, and as you kind of go to straighten yourself, you realize that there is blood in your fur, and realize that that is likely where the hesitation comes from. There's no waver or stumbling as he speaks the name or relays this information to you.
Ah, looking down at my fur. You'll have to excuse me. I'm actually vegetarian, believe it. But the wolves, they were hungry and they were being maltreated. I'm looking at Karen. Help me out. How do I explain this?
You're doing an amazing job at a first impression. I'll use prestidigitation to clean up the blood just to at least get the, physical looks a little better. And out of character, you're asking the person who wasn't here last time. Of all the group to have chosen, you chose me.
You're the one at the entrance with me.
And then one of the two people who was here last session can come to the front and explain.
I see you're a lover of animals. Very nice indeed.
Yeah, we are. And these goblins, wow, got no idea how horrible these goblins were. That's why we had to do the thing that we did. That was, yeah. Hey, Bliss, someone, Vela.
Goblins, you say? Are they the ones that have been attacking the caravans?
Exactly. Yes, that's correct. That is a correct assumption. That's why we took care of it. And we've got more to take care of.
Would you need an extra hand taking care of these goblins?
There's no reason to deny that. More people increases our odds of survival.
Yes, we need more people.
I bow and I say, my name is Basil Thornwhistle. I'm at your service to dispel this evil that has come upon the land.
How tall is Basil? Or Basil?
I'm sorry?
How tall is Basil?
Basil is 3.5 feet tall.
And we're about the same height. Say we trust him.
Hey, Sharon, maybe use your prestidigitation to maybe throw some water on him. Maybe he's painted.
What?
He looks too similar to those goblins. How do we know that he wasn't sent by the one that? And he kind of looks at Bliss a little bit. That he sent away.
Well, did you just see every person that's small and think that they're a goblin?
Real quick, guys, sorry to interject. I'm going to close down Fantasy Grounds and check to see if there's another update. We're still having some issues getting everybody connected. We'll continue role-playing and stuff, and then I'll just post in channel when it's back up and everybody can rejoin. So sorry to
Okay.
interrupt.
Oh, and as you see Basil, you see he's a gnome. He's got a little bit of a beard. His hair is still brown, not gray. He looks about 52. He's wearing studded leather armor. He carries a longbow, a light crossbow, and 2 swords, a short sword and a scimitar. And he also has a spear on his back, sticking out of his back.
Okay.
If you all think we should give this man a chance, I guess I can't say different. You showed grace to me, so I guess
Well,
I can show grace to him.
Francois would kind of interject as he comes out of the woodworks, twirling the cleaner pair of panties on his finger. And I apologize for this terrible French accent, you guys.
my God.
He would say, "Oh, what was the name that you had given? Who had sent you?" Oh.
Are you saying that to Basil?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
The name is Durgan Iron Trail.
He
He sent me to,
Go ahead.
he sent me to check out these caravan thefts.
Francois kind of strokes his chin a bit, and you see his eyes kind of wander a bit. You can see his wheels turning. Ah, I have heard that name. Gundren is the man who had hired me to, how do you say, escort his cargo to Vandalin. That is a friend or associate of his.
Escargot. No, I'm not hungry right. Okay, so do you think he was on the same mission? Is that what you're getting at?
I don't think they were on the same mission, but there is some connection. And if that is who sent him and Gundren is who sent me, then I don't see any reason to not trust him.
Okay. Oui. He can join us.
There was another update. It's launching now.
Aye.
And then let me bring this up. Umaril. Following the call and the information in the blood-stained letter that you found, you find yourself coming across the same trail, and there's something that calls to you. Not a voice, but a pulling of sorts that almost lulls you in this direction. Coming to the same clearing, you see there are a couple people outside the mouth of a cave. I know you haven't seen the map, but following the stream, to the right of the stream, there's a little bit of a thicket. It's rather dense, and the clearing is more to the left side. As you are watching this interaction, not quite picking up the whole conversation, but picking up words here and there. Goblins, caravans, killed. Would you remain hidden, sticking to the tree line? Would you make your presence known?
I can. I'm still having issues trying to load into here, so I'm just gonna theater of the mind this. But yeah. I mean, what races are they? That's very important for me.
Okay. So you see that there is someone who looks gnomish, possibly dwarvish. It's hard to tell, but he's less hairy and less stout than most dwarves that you have encountered. You see that there is a large cat, a tabaxi. Appears to be a couple of humans, Harengon, rabbit folk, and then a big behemoth motherfucker, a Goliath.
The big dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You guys sense like some scruffling from like, I guess the woods, not woods, but you know, get what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, Umaril's gonna make his presence kind of known. You're gonna kind of see him just kind of trot out of there. He's gonna say, well. I assume you're not with the goblins, are you? I hope not. In your best interest.
Who is this? Why is everyone coming here?
Basil,
Well,
is
it's a
this one of your
popular
friends?
tourist location. Sorry.
At this
Well,
point,
I'll go ahead. My bad.
Bliss will kind of step out. He's been by the back, trying to keep the wolves calmed down as all this new people, new scents are potentially on the scene. But Bliss will walk forward and say, "Well, it looks like we've got a garden party going on here. I wasn't expecting that at this point in time." Well, no, we're not with the goblins, not at all. In fact, we're here to, let's say, disrupt their afternoon. Or morning. It's morning. It's still morning, right?
Yes, it's late morning at this point.
Yeah.
Disrupt their day, then you can't be wrong.
Okay, good call. Good call. We're here to disrupt their day. It's come to our understanding that the little green guys inside this cave, and I think there might be a dozen or even more of them, based on some intel that we gathered, that they might be holding hostage a dwarf who we're looking for. Goes by the name Gundren Rockseeker. If you ever heard of him?
I have not heard this, the dwarf, but I will join you on this little escapade for now. I mean, these goblins have something of importance to me, is what I tend to believe, but do you mind if I help you take care of this little issue of ours? If you allow me to join you for the time being.
Well, what are you looking for in there? If you tell us, maybe we can keep an eye out for it.
He's gonna kind of like think to himself and say, some type of rock, something. Yeah, you know, it's not that important really, but I'm gonna go in there either way, so it's not really much of a concern. Oh, it has to be somewhere in there. Just some more of a novelty item to think of it.
A novelty item, huh?
He sort of like goes up to whisper in Bliss's ear, "There's treasure in the cave, clearly."
It's the worst time for me to
Was
try
this-
taking a drink.
Was this item taken from you by force?
Yes, lead us to the item.
I wouldn't say by force, more like misplaced at the wrong location is the best way to describe it. Goblins, what can I really say? I can't really blame them for what they are.
Yeah.
So what does Umro look like?
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, you see, like, he's wearing very exquisite, like, okay, he's wearing these, like, very deep bluish type, wizard type robes. That you've seen way better days. It's, like, completely ragged. There's, like, you know, it looks like I kind of picked this out of a dead fossil, but, yeah. You just see, like, a person, human man, kind of has, like, a little ironclad mask that has, like, little seams that kind of shut in. But he kind of like, you know, takes it off. You kind of see like more of a darker skinned man, I suppose. Average looking person, I guess.
Well, you're going in there anyway? Because, you know, if you're going in there anyway, maybe you could just go on in ahead of us, take a look around, and tell us what you find out.
Well, the idea was that we'd kind of do this together, but I'm not sure where your alliances really lie.
So it looks like we got a gnome who's hunting some caravans, and a human who's looking for a lost item. Am I gathering all of that correctly?
That's right.
Well, what do you think, guys? Should we make this a group excursion and see what we can find all together in the cave? It might just help our odds since there's so many of the goblins in there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
we could do that.
mind. As long as they go first.
Shouldn't you go first? You're the biggest guy here.
Did you not see what they did to him on the road?
Yeah, I
You shut up,
suppose.
you Frenchman.
Don't you have some fishing to do?
As long as it doesn't involve your panties.
Oh, you would be so lucky.
I will be
feel like-
right behind them,
Right
making
behind
sure
you.
they stay. Making sure they go in a straight line where we want them to go.
Everyone knows wizards go at the back to fight. We can't send him in first.
So,
Fine.
So, by the way, my name is Bliss. And I don't think I caught your names, gentlemen.
Oh, apologies. I am Umaril Shah. Not really from down this south. More a little bit eastern. This coast is quite interesting, I will say. It seems to be having some sort of fey problem.
Paper.
The goblins, that is.
Oh,
Is this a widespread phenomena that we've been kind of curious about what's been going on around the town? Has it been happening throughout the region?
Well, my knowledge is a little limited. It has been a little while. I've kind of been up to other activities, is the best way to put it. But the coast is just a little bit well known for problematic things happening. I'm not too sure why. Something I do need to catch up on, though, in the future.
Well, guys, it seems like there's consensus around going in together as a group. And by the way, Denali, I'm not able to get back into Fantasy Grounds yet.
Okay.
Is it
Did it
just me?
show
Is that
another
just me?
update for you? No, I had a couple people. That's why I was for the newer guys. If you see me on my phone, I'm not like tuning you out and going, "Oh God, this is so dumb." I respond to player messages through my phone because I'm streaming, so I have Discord up. So there are a couple people having issues connecting. Were you able to update again after I relaunched it? Okay.
Yeah,
I
update,
was-
re-put in the password. I got in, then I got kicked off again, but now it's reloading again. So
Okay. Yeah, and I do
Fun application.
apologize. Normally we don't have problems like this is consistently in a session. We've got thunderstorm and severe weather warnings here, so I'm wondering if that might be part of it. Is if there's like little glitches from the weather that's causing that. But try, if you're not able to, try completely closing out and then try rejoining again from there and see if that makes a
Yeah,
difference.
that's a good idea. I'll quit Fantasy Grounds.
Okay.
also look in Task Manager too after you close it. Sometimes there's stuff processes that's happened to me in the past.
This is another reminder of why D&D's better. D&D Beyond is better. I'm joking.
So my
No,
thing was,
it's not.
I-
D&D Beyond sucks.
I'm partial
it's
to
what I use,
Fantasy
so.
Grounds. If I had done some more research and played around a little bit more prior to getting Fantasy Grounds, I probably would have gone with a different program. But this is what I started doing BTT on, and I've dumped an embarrassing amount of money into building the program here, and that I can't justify going and spending money elsewhere to build another one.
Totally fair.
Once you get used to it, it's really streamlined and very player friendly and very easy to use. Like I said, today is just one of those days where Fantasy Grounds is like, fuck you, Denali. But
it's been good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
I just got back in too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt the play by mentioning that out loud instead of
No, you're fine.
messaging.
you're
I was like, I don't know if we can roleplay the scene anymore without going further into the cave. I can't get into the screen.
And what I'll do is I'll give everybody just a minute to
Gosh,
get
Blitz.
on.
That you
Change your mind.
this stuff.
You troll. What a troll.
Are you calling me an asshole, JJ?
I did earlier.
Is it well demanifested at the minute?
No, he is back here in the tree line. Let me get him in.
Is he out of
Move him
sight?
for you? No, he wouldn't be. Here you go. He was just hidden
There
in the
he
tree
is.
line. Ah!
Hmm.
Okay. So we'll give everybody just a minute so that way we can share the map and everybody can position themselves. Excuse me. Alright, thank you, JJ. I will bring up your character sheet. And then between us squirrel friends, I am going to be, after you guys all kind of get into the cave or close to the mouth of the cave, Francois is going to sneak off. So because we've got a group of 6, I'm not going to use him mechanically. We're just going to be like, oh, something shiny, and create an exit for him. So do not expect him to be useful or there at all.
Maybe a set of goblin panties.
So I feel like
I'll be honest,
even
I was
he
thinking the
would
same
would.
thing.
I feel like goblin
I-
panties. Ooh.
Should I roll or?
So you rolled your stealth already.
Yeah, is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. So you can go ahead and move your token, how far you would like to go in. Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check there. And then we'll see what everybody else is doing before I... 21, okay. We're gonna wait. Who else is... okay. So you guys would see as this conversation is taking place. Are you still having issues, Imuro?
Yeah, I'm still having some problems trying to load it. It's just
Okay.
not working for me at all.
Can you share your screen at all for me, hun?
Yeah.
Because I have it set up to public, so that shouldn't be keeping you out for that reason. Let's see. Give me just a minute, guys. Sorry. Okay.
So,
So click on that and then hit the start button at the bottom right. And it might take a minute. Was it doing this for
are
you
you
before?
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It's okay. It's
Okay, I just assumed it was just like crashing and like, connection failed, but alright.
No, you're good, hun.
It's all
Like I said, I would rather you ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question. We might laugh
Yeah.
sometimes because we all say and do dumb stuff. But if we can't laugh at ourselves and with each other, so I'd rather you ask so that we can get it figured out. And that way, theater of the mind is very good, and we do it a lot here. But when you have visuals and stuff, we don't want that to be everything.
Yeah.
All right, so give you just a minute. And then we'll share the map once you are on. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll go to the player option for drop-down and click characters. From that pop-up, you can take ownership of your character. There it is. Alright, let me get you your inspirations. There it is. Reshare the map. Did that pop up for you?
Yeah.
Fallen. So each square on pretty much all the maps is going to be 5 feet. So if you have 30 feet of movement, you can move 6 squares. You guys can move diagonally. You just click and drag your character where you want to move him. Something that you guys can go ahead and bring up now. On the drop-down menus under Tool, that first option, the top left has the 2 swords crossed. That is going to be the initiative, the combat tracker. So that's good to have up. That way you can keep track of where you are in initiative when we get to that point, if we get into combat. And then you can also do targeting and stuff from the combat tracker or the map. And we'll go over all that once we get going. Okay. But you guys see Thomas kind of slink deeper into the tunnel from the Cave of the Mouth. Are the rest of you guys kind of continuing the conversation and waiting for him? Are we following? How would you like to proceed before I start
He
telling
can't
you?
be left alone. I'll follow him.
Okay.
Well, I think we should just make sure that our canine friends are comfortable with the sense of these newcomers, so that they don't cause a ruckus. And so yeah, you might want to feed them some of this here goblin meat, and they seem to take that as a gesture of friendship.
I
And,
imagine you
but-
holding out like goblin bits to them, like, like
yeah, it's totally.
Remember when I said about first impressions earlier?
So good boys, and I'll Bliss will just sort of like you're introducing your pet to a stranger that's come into the house and saying, well, you might wanna give them a treat.
do you guys partake?
Yeah, I'll take some meat and feed it to the wolves.
Beautiful. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check with advantage. So obviously those rolls are going to be under your skill tab. At the bottom left of the screen where you have the dice, just to the left of that, you'll see that there's the 6 little squares there. The top left says ADV. You'll click that and then roll your ability check. And then Bliss is
And I'll
giving you
say-
guidance. Sorry.
I've lost my character sheet. I don't know where it went.
Okay. At the top left of the screen where you see all of the character
Nice.
arts, if you double click yours, that should bring the sheet back up. If not, I can drop share it.
Animal handling.
And Bliss will say, let's go one at a time here. And I'll do and give guidance to each of them.
Oh, max on each.
Yeah, like 2 good rolls.
Yeah. Umarel, are you feeding the goodest of boys as well?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just having a. I'm just so like the UI is just messing with me right now. My bad. I'm still.
No,
trying to get
you're
used to
quite
it.
alright.
Yeah. Umar would be like, oh, what a nice little cog. You know, you can feed him some meat.
Okay. Go ahead and at the bottom left, the button that says ADV, click that and then roll your animal handling check. So the ADV
Okay.
is rolling with advantage, the DIS is rolling with disadvantage, and of course we'll continue to go over that as we progress. This is pretty much
Yeah.
everybody's first campaign using Fantasy Grounds, save for JJ. So I'd always rather you guys ask and take your time. There's no rush.
Just give me 1 second. It's just.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't roll with advantage, but is my 13 good enough?
It is. If you want to crit fish, you can roll again.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so 17 total for you.
Okay. I lost my. I cannot find where my character sheet just went. It just kind of disappeared, and it won't let me like pull it back up for some reason.
I think you're muted, Denali.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. At the top left where the character art is, double click your character art and that should bring it back up for
Oh,
you.
okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course,
Yeah.
of course. And if not, then let me know and I'll drop share.
All right. Animal handling. Manage.
And I appreciate your guys' patience with learning the new program. I know it can be a pain in the dick sometimes.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
I've gotten a bit more used to it. I've even figured out how to find my Raven Familiars sheet now.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to change his name from Raven to Quill on the combat tracker.
Yeah, it definitely took me a couple sessions to sort of get a sense for where things are, and we haven't had that many combats, so I'm like, I know where the role play tools are, but I'm not sure I'm gonna know where the combat tools are. We'll see when we get to
Yeah.
more.
Speaking of Quill, am I able to move him, or am I just going to tell you where to put him?
You should be able to move him. Can you drag the token?
No, I can drag the entire map around.
Huh. Okay, then let me do this really quick. Okay, now see if you can move him.
I guess I'll just tell you where he goes this time.
Okay, that works. And were you able to?
You can just sit on my head
bring
for
your
now,
sheet
just
back up?
so I can see the same thing he sees.
Okay. What are we stuck on, love?
Say that again. I did not hear you.
Oh, I said, did you already do your roll, or are you?
Yeah, I made a roll for it.
Okay. What it didn't show? What was it?
It's like, I mean, I was expecting it to kind of show up on the side, but it just didn't.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. Go ahead, Denali.
Okay, I was gonna say if you're rolling from like just from dropping dice and adding your modifier, you'll need to drop it on the text box. Sometimes if you get too excited, like if you move your mouse too hard, it'll do it that way. If you go to the character sheet under skills, where animal handling is, to the right of that, you'll see the total with the modifier. Just to the left of that is the dice icon, and you can single click that, and that'll roll it into the box for you.
Okay. There you go.
Beautiful, and beautiful, so a 22. Okay. So as each of you take a moment to step forward with the freshly slaughtered goblin flesh, the wolves, you see that there are 3 of them, have bloodied maw. There's bits of flesh and muscle that kind of hang out of the sides of their mouth, and they've lowered their shoulders a bit. The ears are back as they growl softly. But as you approach and slowly extend the offering of meat, they sniff hesitantly before grabbing it from your hands and tearing into it, instantly forgetting about your presence in this moment. And in this area, you guys both have dark vision, or no, you're human, so you don't have dark vision, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay, good to know. So there's enough light in the first little bit of the cave opening here. The cavern to the right where the wolves are. Let me move your character token. So you can kind of see. You see that there's this little alcove, essentially here, the kennel, if you will. And there's a couple of uneven stone steps that lead up to where these 3 wolves are. You see that each of them have an iron collar around their neck and a heavy iron chain connected to the collar that is staked into the ground behind them. There is a bit of loose dirt and earth back here that kind of ascends up to a little, a fissure, if you will. You would see that there's a little bit of light within the opening of that fissure that kind of dances and flickers, almost as if there's a campfire or a flame source of sorts on the other side. It is very dark, damp, and dank in here. The smell is foul, rotted flesh, dirty animals, and rather unpleasant. You guys would see that the stream that you followed to get here continues into the cave itself. The sound in here of the moving water, while the water is not moving rapidly because of how large and hollow it is in here, the sound echoes, which intensifies and heightens the sound of the moving water. It's not overwhelming or deafening by any means, but it is enough that if you're speaking at a whisper or a hushed tone, you will not be heard. It can definitely help mute and kind of cover steps if you guys are moving carefully and proactively trying to be quiet. But it also dulls your senses a bit to sounds outside of yourselves. Tomas, as you navigate into the tunnel going deeper, you see that off to the left over here there's a steep passage, and you see that there is more loose earth, almost as though this section of the tunnel had been in the process of being carved away at, cut into, but it is unfinished. There is a small little, not quite plateau here, a little standing point, a break point, if you will, with more loose earth that goes further up. All in all, it's about 30 feet up to where you can see some more flat earth here. Again, up ahead, there's some more steps right here to your right, just off the right side of the water. And you see that the walls and ceiling of the cave kind of ascend further up. There's a bridge that goes across the stream 20 feet up from where you are. And you had rolled a 21. You hear just a slight bit of movement, almost a shuffling of the earth coming from just out of your line of sight here.
I have one question. Sorry for this, but I can. The map is. How do you pull up the map again?
Let me reshare it. The best way to be able to bring it back up without having to have it shared, you'll notice that at the bottom of the screen you'll have the little segments, and they're listed 1 through 12. If you hit Alt or Control or Shift, that'll bring up more options for you.
Okay.
At the top of the map, or anything that is shared, whether it's a map, an image, an item, literally everything in Fantasy Grounds has that icon at the top left of the pop-up. It looks like a little dragon in the square. If you hover over it, it says drag record link. You can click and drag that and drop it into any of those windows. And you can do that with literally everything. And then if you close it, if you lose it, you can do it with your character sheet, literally anything. You can just go back down to where you plugged it and just single click and it'll pop up.
Okay.
Okay, so this is like, is it like the bridge on the map?
Yes. Yeah. So you'll see that this is like a very shoddy wood bridge. It looks questionable at best. You can see some places where the integrity of the bridge itself, some of the wood is cracked, and little bits of it on the bottom side that look to be eaten away by mold, waterlogged from all the moisture in here. And it goes across from the one side here all the way across. And it's about 20 feet up and about 10 feet long, 10 to 15.
Is it jumpable or climbable to get up to the sides of it?
So to climb, what is your jumping for your Harengon? How high can you jump?
Give me a second again.
Okay.
Ability. Rabbit. No.
Your rabbit hop, right? Number
Oh, it was rabbit hop.
5
The
times
bonus
your
action.
proficiency.
Oh, feet equal to the number of times.
Your proficiency, right? So it would be 10
Yeah.
feet. So you'd be able to get halfway up there. If you were wanting to climb, if you had pittons of sorts, you could use those to help kind of climb up. You could definitely,
Can I use daggers?
I'd allow it. It would change the DC slightly. as they're not made for that. But I like the coolness of it. So go ahead and give
Cool.
me an athletics check to do that.
I was just looking which.
Could he get an extra couple feet from like jumping off of me because I'm like 8 feet off?
Are you with me?
Oh, maybe not. Never mind.
So no. Normally I'd say yes, but
Wait, do I have anything like that? Sorry,
let me
in my
check here.
thieves tool for getting up there?
Your thieves tools. Let me double check because I think thieves tools is more like it's a
These tools are more lockpicks. and stuff.
Lockpicks,
I
yeah,
think
that's what I
pittons would be
thought.
an item themselves.
yeah pittons, and I don't see pittons. That comes with the explorers pack rather than the adventurers pack, I believe.
Oh, could I touch a rope to a light crossbow bolt and then shoot that up? Jump up, shoot that up top, and climb us way up there.
Absolutely. How much do you weigh?
I'm
let me
probably
see
quite
under
light, given that.
notes.
Actually, I probably need to do it, but it says 130 pounds. But
Oh,
I've
you're
reduced
a
my height.
I was gonna say you're a stout little 3-foot guy.
Yeah, I need to change that.
Real did.
Yeah, I feel like your height used to be different.
Yeah. Shall we say what we should reckon?
I'm good with whatever you put in there. At 3 feet, I'd say like 70 to 100 would be more than enough. And so what I'll
Yeah.
do is I'll allow that.
We'll go
but
for 8.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check, please, and taking into account that you've utilized your newly
Can I
borrowed.
use acrobatics?
So, outside of monks, I tend to be a little more strict about athletics and acrobatics. Athletics to me is things like climbing or pulling yourself up, things like that, whereas acrobatics would be more of jumping from or jumping down. So anything that's going to, unless your class or feat or feature says otherwise, I try to keep in mind realistically, even though it's a fantasy game, that is going to be more of a strength-based ability.
Okay, no problem. I was just thinking because I jumped up, that was all. But I'll do that. Let's hope this goes well. It didn't go.
Okay.
If only you had inspiration dice.
I know.
Yeah, I'll use mine.
Okay.
Oh, just reroll it if you use an inspiration dice, that's all.
Right, let's hope there's actually.
I believe in you.
I do. I thought I was actually going to use the acrobatics. Probably.
So is what you're saying that you're wanting
Exact
to
same
like?
roll again.
Are you
It's
wanting
alright,
to?
though, don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
I fucked up.
Okay. You're able to hop up, and that, if you wanted to use your hop to get halfway up, I would allow that. And I won't make it be like the one that you use mechanically to count against your allotted times per day. But as you sink the bolts into the earth and you jump up halfway, you are able to grab onto the rope. But trying to maintain your grip right now is a little difficult, as you've still got some blood and some visceral matter on your hands. That makes maintaining your grip a little more difficult. It will take you a lot longer to climb up if you're going to continue trying to do this. Those of you with dark vision, if you are paying attention, you would see all of this happening, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just going to
I think
continue
Bliss is
climbing up.
still in the wolf room.
Yeah, I'm just going to still climb.
Okay. It is an embarrassingly substantial amount of time in comparison to what you thought it would be to climb up the 10 feet. Ultimately, you'll be able to. Go ahead and give me a stealth check as you try to do this, please. Okay. Surprisingly quiet, though. what is everybody else doing as some of these animals are being fed and some of these animals are failing to climb up quickly?
I'm gonna essentially, pull out my small little lamp and kind of light it just so I can kind of see and hear as a human.
Okay, let me get that added to your character sheet.
Well, I already have the lamp in there, but
Perfect, but there's an effect that I can add on the tracker that should allow you
gotcha.
to see.
Well, let me be able to see as well.
Yes.
New friend, I'm standing next to you.
Yep.
Dark visionless people must stick together, while all these other people can see. Assholes.
Well, it seems like we can get a sense for what's up ahead, and hopefully our little rabbit friend will share some information about his scouting excursion, and then we can decide whether we want to either proceed into the cave, or maybe we could bring some of these puppies with us, or even send them ahead into the cave. They seem to have taken a liking to goblin flesh, so that could be useful.
Okay, so
I
now
can't believe
if
I thought you'd be the voice of reason.
So now if you are on the map and you click on your character token, it should expand your line of sight so you can actually see more of what's
Yeah, I
around
see
you.
it.
Perfect. And it should do the same. Does that do the same for you too, Con?
I can see the rabbit, yes.
Perfect. Okay. Thomas. I'm going to move you up onto the bridge, just stream that a little bit. Alright, JJ's getting the kids. Hold on, let me open that so I can get you up. As you... Well, this is an important question. Making your way up onto the bridge, finally. Successfully. And quickly. Unimpeded. Which direction are you looking?
To my right.
To your right?
No, my left.
To your left?
Left, right. My left.
Final answer.
Okay, final answer.
You come face to face with a goblin who looks
Can it
at
see me?
He is looking right at you.
Well, this isn't where I parked my car.
I will give you one reaction, and then we're rolling initiative.
Okay.
I'd recommend reaction insult him.
So,
Guys!
so all of you would see Thomas finally pop up on the bridge. Welcome back, JJ. And I kind of imagine, like, as he does a quick, like, look to his right and then, like, deciding which way he's gonna look, looks left, and you see his ears, which have been kind of up and alert, twitching slightly, lean back a bit as maybe his mouth kind of drops slightly slack as he turns to call to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that and shoot at this boy.
Beautiful. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to roll initiative. On your character sheet on the main tab, where you have your AC and your speed, the button in between that is your initiative, and there's a little, I almost said diamond, a little dice icon just to the right of that, and you should be able to click that. And yeah. Okay, let me change
Did it make my initiative or
Let's
no?
see. It did
Oh, there it is. I
not.
got it. Okay. I see.
Perfect. Oh, yep. Perfect, perfect. Alright, so top of the round. We have, let me get rid of that. We have Thomas with Valor and Umaril on deck. So, Thomas, as you see this goblin and you shout out to alert the others, you see this goblin, let me mark him or show him on the tracker, who looks very caught off guard, very surprised. And as you call out for others, he lowers his shoulders and reaches towards his hip, grasping the hilt of his scimitar as he begins to kind of growl at you, and speaking at you in a language that you do not understand.
Okay. I feel like obviously I can't. Can I turn to look behind me?
Absolutely.
Is that an action though?
No, no. No,
Okay,
that's
I look
assessing
behind
the
me.
situation.
Okay. What is
So,
down
looking
on
behind
the right
you.
side?
Beautiful. So from what you can see, you see that the bridge comes to the end here and down another tunnel. And from your line of sight, you see that it appears to open up a bit. You see that there's a bit of like a stalagmite here, and more wall. And then just at the edge of your dark vision, you see the beginning of another set of earthen or stone stairs.
Oh, okay. I'll turn back and shoot at him. Oh, do I charge him with my rapier? I feel like I'm gonna have to charge him with my rapier.
Do
Right.
it.
Yeah. How do I select?
So control and then left
Control.
click him. And you can either do that on the map or the combat tracker itself. There it is. You've got him targeted.
Okay.
He's hair and gone. That's funny. Give yourself a point of inspiration. Go ahead and roll your attack first, Lev.
I can't. I only have 3.
Oh, sorry.
I should have re-rolled my initiative.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Okay, no, you're
That was-
quite all right. A 12 does miss. So as you charge forward, your rapier at the ready and lunge towards him, he dodges out of the way as he bares his teeth at you. And sorry, I have really terrible NPC voices. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to slice it. Fine. 'Cause that's with my dagger, and I miss again.
Okay, a 14 is a miss, unfortunately. As he dodge, duck, dips, dives, and dodge out of the way. Kind of squeezing his eyes shut, bracing for impact, but as he feels the rush of air as your blades miss him, he begins to kind of snarl and laugh at you, as his posturing kind of eases a little bit. He becomes less tense as his beady yellow eyes glare into yours.
Okay.
Any further movement or anything for your turn?
I don't think there's anything I can do.
Okay. That is going to bring us to Valor. So you would have seen Thomas masterfully climb up the to the bridge, and then looks slightly caught off guard or panicked and yell, "Guys!" And then he kind of disappears. You can see just like his little fluffy tail on the cusp of your vision around the edge of that wall.
Okay, so you're telling me we can't go up here and meet him because there's a ridge?
There's wall. So he's 20 feet up right now. you could do an athletics to try and climb up. You can quickly
I'll do that.
explore. Okay. What are you using? Are you using anything to try and help assist you in this, or are you just freeballing it? Hands
I'm gonna
and
try to
feet?
do like a running jump. So I'll run for 10 feet and try to jump up.
Okay.
Pretty sure I can. I think it's like something times your strength, but technically monks can use a deck. I don't know.
I always forget the jumping rules. Let me double check.
Yeah, I always forget those too. It's something like your strength modifier times or plus something.
Yeah, I have them on my. Yeah, let me pull it up.
I say I can pull it up here if you'd
That's what
like.
I'm doing right now.
Much more simpler just to be a
so-
sorcerer. Just saying.
Yes.
Long jump.
Uh,
When you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score. If you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump. When you make a standing long jump, you can leap only half that distance. High jump. When you make a high jump, you leap into the air a number of feet equal to 3
Plus your strength.
plus your strength. Ugh.
Yeah, and he's 20
If
feet
you
up.
move at least 10 feet, when you make a standing point jump. Oh, that's dumb. 3 plus strength? That's
Mhm.
stupid. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll try to climb it then
Okay.
instead of that.
And are you raw dogging it, or are you using any weapons to try and help?
Well, I have a couple of daggers. I guess I'll try to use those to.
Okay. Go ahead and give me
Climb my way up
an
or something?
athletics, please. And then let me double check something, because I think with climbing, if there's not a climb speed, I think it works the same way aquatic movement does. Let me double check. Yeah, so if you don't have a climb speed, you can move half of your movement speed to climb. So if you wanted to do that and dash action, you could do your full 30 movement. 15 would be enough. So you're moving up to, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. So
You can just
you
move
were...
my guy how far I can get.
Okay, so you were initially back here behind Umaril, correct?
Yeah, I was right here.
Okay, and you're going to come 5, 10, 15, 20, and then start climbing up?
Yep.
Okay. So with that, are you going to dash action?
Sure.
Okay, you'd be able to climb up 20 feet. You do still have another 10 feet over to get to the bridge. Unless you wanted to move the 10 feet over and then only climb up 10 feet.
10, 15, 20. So I climbed up 20, so that's 40. So dash action. So I have 30. I have 30 feet left. I can go.
Well, no, because you were behind Umaril and you walked over
Uh-huh.
to this area, so that's 5, 10, 15, and then that puts you at 20 there.
And then you said 20 up, so that's 40.
Yes, but your
Right.
climbing speed is halved. It's like moving in water or
Oh.
difficult terrain. So it's half speed because you do not have a climb speed.
Okay. So that's okay.
So that
I got
expends.
okay, so that's
your
why I have 10
movement.
more. Okay. So 5, 10.
No, so you'll have 10 more feet to get to the bridge. You've expended all of your movement at the 20
Well,
feet
move
up.
me where I can go, and then I guess my turn's done.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Can I
then we'll put
see?
you
Can I
over
see
here.
the goblin from my point of view?
From where you're at? You can see that there's movement on the other side of Thomas, but you can't see the goblin himself.
Okay.
Because you're down a little
Do
bit.
I see Tomas?
Yeah, you see his little bushy tail. It's not a clear line of sight because of the bridge, but you can see him through like the railings and things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my vision isn't showing me what I see. I still see black.
Oh, you don't have dark
on
vision,
all-
do you?
No.
Okay, then yeah, you would not
Oh,
be
that's
able
why
to.
then. Well, that's tough.
yeah.
Okay. I'm done then.
Okay. I always forget
Or do I
Goliaths
have a
don't have
torch?
dark vision. You should. You want to use object interaction to light one?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get that added to
Yeah.
your sheet. Okay.
There we go. Okay.
All right, that is going to bring us to Umaril. With Bliss on
Okay.
deck.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try to use up all my movement to essentially kind of get where it's like climb up the little thing, you know. That's what I'm gonna do.
You're wanting to climb like Valor is?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay, so dash action, all that good stuff. 5,
Yeah.
10, 15, 20, 25 feet of movement will get you right under where he's at. And that'll give you another 35 feet of movement. Are you using anything to try and assist you in climbing, or are you just hands and feet?
I'm raw dogging it. I don't really know.
All right,
Yeah.
let's fucking go. Go ahead and give me that athletics check, please.
Alrighty.
And you do have 2 inspiration, as do you, Basil. Wow.
Nice roll, dude.
Very, very
Thank you.
nice. A slutty 20. Surprisingly strong as you charge forward. And that was 25, so you have another 35. So you would get up just... Oh, wrong way. Don't want to make you smaller. I want to have you climb. Alright. So you just barely surpass Valor. You are further back on the wall than he is, but a little bit higher than he is.
Okay.
So Valor, as you light your torch and give yourself the gift of sight, you feel the presence of someone else swiftly climbing up. And as you turn to your left, you see that your new friend, Umaril, is swiftly following suit. Okay, that is going to bring us to Bliss.
All right. So, so I have a climb speed because that's a tabaxi trait.
Rawr.
So with 40 feet of movement and a climb speed, can you show me about where I would get to?
Absolutely. So you're trying to
Just
climb
the-
up and basically following suit as
Yeah.
well.
So my goal is to reach the goblin,
Okay.
and I have a bunch of ways to try to do that.
Okay.
So if I just go straight up I'm sorry, and I started from here.
So the best way to do that, if you're wanting to get to the goblin, you know that there is something on the other side of where Tomas is. Your best bet is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Rushing across the water. Again, it is like knee-high at best for you. So that's 25 feet of movement, so you would have another 40, 55 feet up. So you would be able to come 5, 10, 15, 20. 25. So as you, and we're going to put you back on the ground now that you're actually up, you see just in front of Tomas is a sneering little shithead goblin who is in the process of unsheathing his scythe. Now,
So that's-
Go ahead.
So to that place on the bridge, that's 40. That's my 40
Correct.
of.
Of movement. Yes.
So
Now, this is a tight squeeze because the tunnel here is not wide enough for 2x2s. So you would be able to attack the goblin, but it would basically be an attack essentially giving him half coverage because Tomas is directly in front of you. If you roll a natural 1, it would hit Tomas.
okay, and if I were to so okay. Well, as Bliss goes sort of climbing up the wall, it kind of looks over his shoulder at Valor and Umro and says, "Good job, guys. You're doing great. Keep at it." And so I can monks can dash as a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So if I did that, could I get into melee range? Could I get past? Could I get past Tomas, or is he like blocking?
It's mechanically, it's essentially blocking. If you were able to get past him, and in tight spaces like this, as long as your ally is willing to like go nuts to butt, you guys can pass without having to, unless the whole party's lined up and you're passing everybody, that would be double movement. But the problem with that is that getting past Tomas puts you in a shared space with him and the goblin. So mechanically, it would not work.
Okay. So I'll say, well, hello there, Tomas. It seems like you've gotten into a little bit of a pickle. Let's see if we can help you out. And,
Feel free to throw me back down behind you.
So what Bliss will do is he'll throw a net at the goblin.
Beautiful. All right, and he needs to make a DC save on that, correct?
Yeah, so that's a dexterity save, and it's a DC 14, I think. Let me just double check the DC.
Okay.
I put that here under actions, and I made a note of it so that I could yes. Yes. So that's
with a 17, as you quickly, masterfully pull out your net. And I imagine Tomas kind of squatting down a bit, ducking down to help ease the movement on your end and to not be quite an obstruction to your line of sight. The goblin sees it coming and is able to kind of jump out of the way as he continues laughing, taunting you.
And I cannot hit, and I can't, I'm not in melee range of the goblin, is that correct?
Correct. If you had a ranged attack, you could do so. Again, if it is a natural one, then Tomas takes it.
So I will then, and I can't pass the goblin. I will use my bonus action to dash and back up to about here so that there's less of a traffic jam on the bridge for other people trying to get into range.
Give me a quick perception check. And are you, but when you say you're backing up, you're not literally backing up, you're just turning and walking back, correct?
Yep. Yes, okay. That's right. I would move in a forward, yes, with my front of my body in the direction facing that I'm going.
Beautiful. Sorry, I know it sounds like a silly question, but I just want to make sure. Just on the cusp of your vision, you see a little bit of movement just around the corner of that wall.
Okay. I'll say, so as I'm, then I actually will back up to about here. And I'll say, kind of quietly now, like, guys, I think there's some more goblins in the other direction too. So I'll let the folks on the bridge know what's up ahead.
Beautiful. That will bring us not to the wolves. Goblin 1. He is going to target you, Tomas, with his scimitar. And as he smiles, you can see the rot and tartar build up in his teeth, and you can feel the hot, acrid breath as he lunges at you. Thomas, I love you.
Sorry, that's me coughing as I smell that.
I'm very, very sorry. And this reminds me, for our newer players, we have table rules for critical hits.
Great.
There is, as a player, I don't enjoy it as a DM. Obviously, I don't want to kill you guys. I do get excited about nat 20s. I am human. It's awesome. But I don't want to kill you guys. But there's nothing worse than landing a critical hit and rolling double dice and getting, like, low damage. Like, having this big, badass, powerful moment and then being like, oh, here's a paper cut. So what we do is you roll as normal. You get your double damage dice plus your modifier. The lower of the 2 dice that you roll instantly becomes max. So if you have 2d6s and you roll a 4 and a 1, that 1 is a 6. So you have 10 plus your modifier. With a critical hit, Thomas, you feel a sharp pain as the cool blade of his scimitar pierces into your stomach as you take 6, 11, 13 points of slashing damage. I'm very, very sorry.
Yeah, it's alright. Don't worry about it.
The coolness of his blade is quickly replaced by the warmth of your blood that begins to pour freely as he retrieves his blade and laughs one more time. And just for insult, because I am a child, as he sneers, he's going to stick his tongue out at you and begin to flee down this hallway. You do get an attack of opportunity should you choose.
Sure, I'll try and... Right. There you go, I missed.
Okay. That brings us to Basil with Karan on deck. And just a reminder, pretty soon we're going to be taking our break. The kids will be home soon. So just a heads up. Basil.
Okay, so Basil, hearing the goblin and seeing everybody go up, he's gonna try to get up that wall too.
Okay.
Towards the bridge.
Okay. Are we freeballing, or are you using anything to try and climb up?
I'm just gonna use my hands.
Okay. Dash actioning as well, following suit the same way?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics, please.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay, so with a dash action, you have 60 feet, so we're going to go 5, 10, 15, which leaves 45 halved, so you'd be able to go at 5, 10, 15, 20, and you'd be able to come over just a little bit more. So you guys are more staggered than dogpiled at this point.
And I can't see the goblin by Thomas.
He has fled. So you guys would hear the sound of steel and flesh. I don't know, Thomas, would you have cried out at all or anything from you as you took the blade?
Thomas has just run to the kitchen real quick.
Oh, okay. We'll say that there was like an audible like gasp or grimace as the blade plunged into his belly, and then you would hear the soft pattering of feet running the opposite direction. So right now, all of you guys see that there is just Thomas there.
Okay, well I've used all my actions, so that's my turn.
Okay, beautiful. That is going to bring us to Karan.
Question.
Yes.
Do I have to go first, or can I do Quill's thing first?
You can have Quill go first.
Cool. Because I'm not climbing up a wall. Screw that. Quill, go up that corridor on the left and see if anything's up there. If I can avoid doing physical exercise, I will.
And let me see. He's got his movement. No, it's 20.
50 feet of flight.
50. Perfect. Thank you. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34. With a little bit of a dash action. Go ahead and give me a perception check for him, please. And if you can click on his token and see what he sees, correct?
No, but I also cannot see him anymore. He's
Oh.
outside of Baron's view.
Okay.
Just name roughly
what-
where he is, and I'll pretend I can see him.
Okay, so he is up here. What I'm going to do, so that he can relay it with you, go ahead and give me a perception check for him, please. You have personally lost line of vision, but he has not. So what I'm going to do,
16.
beautiful, that is more
So he has
than
plus
enough.
3.
Let me add this to you, so that way you can kind of see what it is that he sees.
No, I thought so. That looked like it would be a corridor that would go this way.
Oh, well, it gets better from where he is at. Okay, you can see all of this popping up.
Yes.
Okay, so that is what he would relay to you.
Well, in that case, he's still got some movement, doesn't he?
Yes.
In that case, I'm guessing that goblin on his own near the top is the one that's running away from Thomas and everyone.
Correct.
So in that case, could Quill, I know he can't attack, but can he just fly in front of that person's face and massively distract him as much as possible so he doesn't get any further down the tunnel?
Absolutely. And then, go ahead. Are you wanting him to do this in a way that does not draw attention from the others?
Yeah, because I'm not dealing with that alone.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check for him, please.
Does he have any stealth? He doesn't. Never mind, he screeches while doing it. Pigeon.
Okay.
Actually, wait, can I use my inspiration to reroll that, considering I keep on getting free ones and then not having space?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So many dice.
What?
That's better.
Okay, 60
And now I have
is
spare inspiration
much
slots.
better. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. So that is Quill's turn. What is your turn?
How far away am I from that goblin, actually, now that I think about it?
You are 5, 10, 15, 20. Including the climb speed, not halved, but the distance to get there, not taken into account the climbing speed, 70 feet.
In that case... No, I'm not going to climb up. I'm still not doing that. That's too much effort. I'm going to make my way... Oh, hang on. Let's see.
Lazy
Let's
fuck.
5, 10... It's literally my backstory.
I know.
I love it.
So hard to climb.
About there. Could I do this stealthily, knowing what's around the corner?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check for yourself.
No, that's my pigeon.
Ah!
Shut up, bird. I had to use an inspiration on you.
Okay, very, very solid. Yes. Okay, yeah, and you are able to go ahead and give me an athletics check, as there is the loose earth that kind of goes up a bit. It's not going to be as taxing as climbing the wall like your companions. Okay. Love it. And I just imagine you like slowly bitching and griping the whole time under your breath stealthily. Give me just a second. But yes, you're able to get up there. Anything else for your turn, Karen?
I'm assuming that I won't be able to see any of those goblins that are in that room at the minute, right?
Correct.
Right. In that case, then match would have been hide. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that'll be everything. I'll remain hiding for now.
Beautiful. That concludes the first round of combat. We'll go ahead and take our 10-minute break. My kids just got home. So I'm going to get them situated really quick, and then we'll come back at the top of round 2, I believe, with Thomas.
All right, see y'all in 10.
Yes. Turn this bad boy back on. All right, we are at the top of. Oh, we're gonna put him before you actually, since Cool's going first, so he's gonna be right before you. That brings us to the top of round 2. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. He did not know that you were there, and this round his roll was terrible. So that is actually going to bring us to Thomas.
Hi. Well, I guess what do? I mean,
if you go around the corner, Quill is keeping him occupied, so that would allow you to sneak attack him, wouldn't it?
Yes, but that is player knowledge.
Oh wait, good point.
I'm gonna continue down and try and shoot him in the back by crossbow.
Do it. So as you round that corner, you see the goblin flailing frantically, slashing his scimitar through the air as Quill is sitting there, like flapping at him with his wings. I imagine, like pecking at him, biting at him, dripping little bits.
Anything
of
that doesn't
ink.
constitute actual damage.
Yes. Yes.
So how does sneak attacks work?
Sneak
So
attack is an additional bit of damage that your regular attack does. So as long as you hit with an attack, you'll just roll sneak attack damage afterwards.
exactly.
So does that count now? I clicked it.
Yes, it'll go on your damage, but roll your attack first.
Oh, I actually managed to hit. That's insane.
Beautiful.
What?
Yes. All right. Now, if you roll your damage, it should automatically apply your sneak attack die.
Nice.
Okay, it did not. So go ahead and manually roll your d6 for me. I guess you have to hit it before you do your damage, not the attack. Okay, so 8 points of damage, and there's a pain scream that emits from this goblin, and that was...
I'm gonna run back if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got movement speed left.
How far can I go?
So you've got, I believe it's 30 feet of movement for Harengon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you moved up 5, 10, 15, so you've got 15 feet more. You can go back to where you started.
I'm gonna
Let me
stand to the
apply
side.
To the side. Beautiful. Goblin 1 took 8 points of piercing damage. Alright, that is going to bring us to Valor. So you can use... it'll take 20 feet of movement to get the rest of the 10 feet up, which would leave you with another 10 feet.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I saw your wheels turning and the way you just turned to the camera. So you're 10 feet off the ground, which means you were 10 feet below the bridge. So mathematically, there's 10 feet between you and the bridge, but because it's double movement, because you do not have a climb speed, it will take 20 feet of your movement to get to the top of and onto the bridge, which will leave you with the remaining 10 feet of unhindered movement once you're on the bridge.
Okay, so question then.
Mhm.
Just so that I understand. That is a bottom of a how tall hill or how tall cliff? 40 feet?
So the steps is like
20
maybe
feet?
up 5 feet. The bridge 20 feet up is from where you guys are at right there.
So I'm still climbing, is what you're saying.
Yes. Because you walked up to get to under the bridge and started climbing up that way. So that way you could go and climb up and get onto the bridge rather than climbing up and shimmying over to the bridge.
Tomas, what was around that corner? Or can I even see him? Tomas.
Yeah.
What is up here?
Hi.
He's like bloodied and beat up.
Just there was like 10 goblins. Yeah. They jumped. There's one guy around the corner. I hit him in the back.
Marco's not far off from the truth with that.
And in a stage whisper, I'll say, and there's at least another one down this way.
Bliss and
I guess
Baylor, go ahead and
I-
give me a perception check and go ahead what you're saying. Sorry, Baylor. Beautiful.
You said I have 10 more feet, so that's 20 feet of movement that I have to climb up the wreck, correct?
Yes, and then once you're on there, you'll have 10 feet remaining unimpeded.
15.
Okay. So, as you climb up, Valor, with the light from your torch as you are facing Bliss. You see, well, no, you want to see from where you're at. You would see that the light of your tunnel, of your torch, kind of hugs around the corners and illuminates what looks to be an area that opens up. With the 21 and 23, you hear some trickling of water that seems to be coming from your right, from the east, rather than the water beneath you to the west. And you hear just the faintest sound of hushed voices speaking in an unknown but familiar language.
YOLO. And he'll just go 5, 10.
Okay, stop there so I can share all this. So let me... Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of... That's 27...
Minty.
Okay, turning that corner, and then let me see. That was... I gotta delete these other ones. 24 can be gone. 1 can be gone. And that is 27. Okay. 34. Sorry, normally I have these set up in like round so that the combat tracker is easier to navigate.
Yeah,
but
no,
as
we're
we
uncovering
are-
all of the bad guys all at once.
Yeah.
It's gonna go great for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we are up here, so if we die, we die. And we blame the bunny.
Yeah. I blame me too at this
5,
point.
16, and 34.
It's the
We know what
unlucky rabbit.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right, Valor. As you say, "Fuck it,
Hang on, while I just
YOLO."
add 10 more enemies to the fight.
Yeah, we got this. Rounding the corner with your torch, you see 6 faces turn towards you. Caught off guard, and then quickly angry. I'm sorry, 5 faces. I can math, I promise. 2 large wolves and 3 more goblins begin to sneer and snarl at you. You see that the back half of this cavern is... There's a bit of a wall that's been very rudimentally built up out of stones and earth and clay that creates 2 large pools of water. From where you're at, I think you would be able to see it. You see that right over here, there's what appears to be like, not really a chamber. It's almost like a makeshift dam into a waterfall. It's quite apparent to you that this seems to be the source of the stream that flows through the rest of the cave system and out into the open world. You see that there are some spears or large sticks set in place, kind of pried into different sections of the dam at the mouth of the water here that could easily be manipulated. Yeah. And then I'm trying to see. I think that's all you would see within your line of sight from where you're at.
These wolves that I can see, are they chained up as well, or are they loose?
They are loose.
Okay. Okay. So once I get to this point, I'm going to simultaneously drop my torch.
Okay.
And use my last charge of favorite enemy to put a hunter's mark on this guy.
Okay.
And
which
then
one?
I'm going. What?
On which one?
Goblin
On
5.
5. Okay.
And then I'm going to chuck a dagger at it.
Ka-chow.
Oh my gosh. Gotta remember, because this is that, so this is that. That's a melee attack. Okay.
Yeah, they have the thrown option.
Does martial arts get applied to that? I don't know.
I don't believe so. Let
I
me
think it's
double
just melee
check.
attacks,
I believe
right?
it's melee.
Okay.
Let me double check.
I think it's any. I think it's any monk
Simple
weapon.
melee weapons. Yeah,
I
monk
think it's a-
weapons are unarmed strike.
Okay, well, here we go.
D6.
That is a hit. Max damage on that first, so a total of 12 damage to Goblin 5.
I has to be dead.
How would you like to do this?
Is it? Nice. So, you can kind of, I guess the people that can see, maybe just Bliss, you can kind of see me just awkwardly like, well, and he'll just like chuck a dagger, like he's not used to doing this at all. And then you just see him like, oh, killed him. But I basically just hit him square in the head, like right in between the eyes.
Beautiful. And as he turned, you see his mouth open as though he's going to speak something to you, but he's dead before the words even begin to leave his lips.
Okay.
Anything else for you?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Beautiful. That brings us to Umaril with Bliss on deck.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use my movement to essentially get up on the little bridge, or
Alright.
like, you know.
That's going to be 15 feet of movement total. So you have another 15.
Did that goblin? No, the goblin that went to the left. He still ran. He just ran away. Correct.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Groovy ball. I'm going left. I'm gonna go in like use my movement as much as possible without like taking the dash action.
Okay. You've got 3 more squares.
So, okay, that is just 1, 2. Yeah, I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay. Beautiful. Did you want to ready an
If
action
you're
or
not
anything?
taking the dash action, you could always take a ready action
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for Eldritch Blast if anything ever arises, I suppose.
The Warlock special.
Yes.
It's like that at low levels, unfortunately.
You know what? It's the classic, though. All right, that brings us to Bliss with Goblin 34 on deck.
All right. I'm gonna go back towards Tomas. So see if I can count squares correctly.
I believe in you.
Yeah. 1, and as I get next to Tomas, well, that looked like that. That looked like that hurt a little bit. Why don't you have a swig of this? And I'll give Tomas a healing potion.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And then a reminder, because we do have some new people at the table. In combat, you guys can either use a bonus action for a potion of healing on your turn. If you use it as a bonus action, you will roll the dice accordingly. If you use your entire action to take the potion of healing, you do not roll, you just gain the full benefits of it. And then it is an action to administer it to somebody else. But
Alright,
if,
so I'll go. We'll go the bonus action, and you can roll. Or do I roll?
well,
Rolls.
he'll roll it on his turn. For you to just hand it to him, it would be an object interaction. If you wanted him to take it himself, then he would do a bonus action on his turn.
Oh, can I? Okay.
If you want to,
Can I
like give it to him
Can I
as
use my bonus action to administer it to him?
no, it would be a whole action for you to administer it to somebody else.
Ah, okay. All right. Then I guess it's just an object interaction, and I will hand it to him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's one movement,
Mhm.
and then the object interaction. Okay, so so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's like 30 feet.
Mhm.
Gets me to here. And can I see now on my screen?
You
I've got a view down into
should-
that kind of next room.
Yes, so what you would see in that next room around the corner, you would see part of a goblin here, and a larger goblin. This one looks to be bigger and stronger. And then there is a human male who it's hard to see as he's kind of, not quite in a knees to chest, head down position, but he's kind of closed in on himself. But he looks to be at least slightly beaten up as you watch these two goblins kind of poke at him and kick him around.
And do the goblins in that room seem to have like noticed all this commotion over here?
Not yet.
All right, I'm gonna try to take out the goblin that's in front of me.
Beautiful.
Okay, and clicking, and then there you go.
That is a hit.
Okay.
Points of damage. Let me double check. Bliss, how would you like to do this?
Oh, all right. So, Bliss will sort of show up in front of this goblin here, and just say, "Well, it'll be lights out for you," and punch him in the face.
And it is. It is absolutely lights out. He said, "Good night."
All right. And then not yet been noticed. Can't really hide with my bonus action because that's a rogue thing. I always get that confused. I will back up again. I've got maybe 10 more feet of movement.
You have
So
40
I'll
feet,
back up.
right? Total?
What'd you say?
You have 40 feet total, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So I'll back up to about here,
Perfect.
and I'll sort of stage whisper to the party that's in front of me. So I guess that would be Tomas and Umrel, and I'll say, I got rid of the one that was down in the corridor, but it looks like there's a couple more up ahead, and they might have a hostage. And I think that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. Did either of you want to respond or engage before we move on?
Let's deal with them swiftly, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I just remembered. I can dash as a bonus action, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
I can't, because that's a monk thing.
Mm-hmm.
You already gave him. You already gave the potion though.
Oh, you're right. I used the bonus. No, that was
That's
the
an
object,
object
was that the
interaction.
object interaction or
Yeah,
the bonus?
it was an interaction, object
Oh.
interaction, because Tomas did not take the potion. So the only time that taking a potion of any sort is a bonus action is if you were taking it on your turn. Because he handed it to Tomas rather than taking it or anything like that, it's an interaction of an object just to hand off.
Okay, all right. So I have more I can do then. Okay,
Mhm.
sorry about this. It's
No, you're quite all right.
getting used to the character class.
It's a learning experience.
So then I will that stage whisper thing. I will say as I move past, but then I will use my bonus action to dash, which I think can get me all the way to somewhere in this range.
Yeah, right around there.
That gives me another 40 feet. Can I get on the other side of Valor, or am I on the back side of him?
You'd be on the back side of him with the 40 feet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And then.
Then I'll add to the whisper. I'll say, and I don't think they've seen us.
And then Umaril, in passing, had asked you, like, what the situation was. Like, quickly, what's the rundown after you'd said that there was a hostage? So, and I do allow for small exchanges like that during combat if you guys choose to utilize that. I know some DMs don't. I'm not going to be a dick about it.
Okay, so Bliss wants to kind of go. If he knows Valor's in danger, he's going to back up Valor before he starts a fight with another group of goblins on the other side.
Okay. Well, they're just in the nick of time as Goblin 34 sneers and begins yelling at you. And then shouting commands, and you see, as you don't understand the language, you watch as the wolves take a readied stance. The goblin is going to charge in 5, 10, 15, 20, towards you, Valar, with his scimitar, and swing it at you. And with a natural 1, misses. But with his nimble escape, he is going to disengage and back up. That brings us to Wolf 21, who time almost slows down in this moment, Valor, as you watch as he lowers his front half to the ground and quickly pushes up, lunging at you, leaping. He is not going to get doop-a-doop-a-doo that, but he is going to do his bite attack. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay, I need a strength save, please. As you take 6 points of piercing damage.
Strength save.
Yes, please. Very nice. The weight and speed of this beast is surprising, especially for somebody of your stature. You feel him crash into you hard and heavy as you kind of stumble back momentarily, losing your footing, but you push back and do not go prone from his attack as he lowers himself, growling at you, readying for another attack. This brings us to Basil, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna move up here, and
So you'll have 10
from
more feet
here,
of movement.
I can't see the wolves, right?
You can see from where you're at. Let me click on your token. You see just the faintest bit of the outline of the K9, who is just bounced off of Valor. So it's half covered.
So I have I have line of sight on it, but it's half cover.
Correct. Hold on, Bigby.
Okay,
Oh, sorry, not you.
I'll shoot. What?
Sorry, my son was talking.
I guess I'll move closer.
Okay.
I'll shoot Wolf 21 with my bow.
Okay.
How do I do
To
that?
target, you're going to hit control, and while you're holding control, you are going to left click the token of the enemy you are trying to target, and you can either target from the map or on the combat tracker, either one.
Control left click just brings up a bunch of menus.
Okay. Left click on your token and then try again. There you go. And then if you do have the combat tracker up?
I don't think I do.
Okay. If you go to the right side of the screen where the drop down menus are, under Tool, the top one, the top left button with the two swords crossed, you can click that and that'll bring up the tracker. And then that will show you, obviously, the turn order for everybody, but it will also show you who you have targeted, what effects you have, like if somebody had given you bless or any kind of buff or anything like that, or being knocked prone, you'll be able to see all of that and track all of that there as well. So you do have him targeted. So on the action tab of your character sheet, you said you are going to do with your light crossbow.
No, my longbow.
Oh, your longbow, sorry.
Yeah.
There is, you'll see to the right of where your ammunition is hit, you'll see the sword. You can single left click that and that will roll your attack for you.
Okay, where do I find the longbow?
Under the action tab on your character sheet. It's the last tab. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see. I gotcha. Here we go. Longbow. Longbow.
And you should be able to just single left click the sword next to the
sword.
A 20 even with half coverage does hit. So now to the right of that, the little blood droplet, you can single click that and that will roll the damage. 4 points. Make sure that applied. Perfect. Okay. So wasting no time, you quickly get up onto the bridge and come to the aid of your newfound companions. A pained yelp followed by more snarls emit from this beast. Anything else for your turn, dear?
No, that's my turn.
Beautiful. Okay. That is going to bring us to Quill and Karin. Karin.
I have a potentially stupid idea.
I love it.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah. Whatever makes a better story, man.
What's the better story, or Karan's dead?
I don't want to cry. Don't do that.
Well, I'm going to try and single-handedly take on the entire left room because it's all I know that's there.
Oh my lord.
Do it.
Okay.
The only thing that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
that absolutely makes sense.
I was totally thinking, I'm like, Bliss doesn't know that Karen's there, so he goes to Valor because he doesn't know that Karen's in that room.
Yeah.
Or on the outskirts of that room.
Yeah,
I
nobody
totally
knows.
thought about that too.
Well,
I'm
I
like,
was
that's
definitely not going to climb at any point in my life.
Yeah. For all of you guys know, he's outside having a kiki with frickin' Francois. Showing off his secret panty collection. I don't know.
God knows, he hates my magic, remember? It looks horrible to him. No, because I can't fully see them out, but I am aware of where those goblins are they about 30 feet from the center of them?
Okay, say that again.
Are those goblins... am I about 30 feet from the center of those goblins? And if not, can I sneak forward until I am 30 feet from them?
Let's move you up as you continue to climb. Right up there, and then...
You do know there's a hostage.
I know, I don't have AoE spells.
So,
I know I'm
from
staying 30 feet from them, but trust me on this.
getting up here, just on the cusp of that ledge, you would be about 30 feet from the center of them.
Right. Because I can speak Goblin, I have a really bad idea of attempting to use minor illusion to make the sound of a really, like, rough, deep Goblin voice and impersonate what I think the Goblin God would sound like,
Oh
and
my
try and
God.
intimidate them all into worshipping me
Oh my
until
God.
the rest of the party's dealt with whatever they're dealing with.
Okay. Go ahead and use your minor illusion, and then I am dying to know, what does this sound like?
Remember, I can't put on voices, so it sounds like me.
Was worth a shot. Was worth a shot.
No, I never can. I've tried in the past and I just feel too bad, so I give up halfway through.
Oh,
So at least I'm giving up at the start this time.
you'll get. I mean, you've heard just a small handful of the voices that I do, and none of them are like, they're mediocre at best, but they're fun.
I can give you the clip of me as a horse.
Please don't.
We're
Please
not, we're
don't.
Not doing that. We're not doing that.
You wanna ride me?
Oh god damn it.
It was so much worse than that.
They're just going to hear a booming voice of what Karan thinks a god of goblins would be, speaking in Goblin specifically. Goblins! You have been forsaking your role in this world. You are a disgrace on your kind. You have angered your god. He's just going to put like as much emphasis on he can into making them fully believe that it's like their god speaking directly to them with how disappointed he is in them.
That is really fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Let
I
me
love also that
see.
it's not even as intimidating as it is shaming.
Yeah, and we all
It's
know
unfair.
that a
It's
disappointed
so
parent
bad.
or god
It's
is
so
much worse
bad.
than an angry one.
I have a question. Can everybody hear this? Like, in the cave?
It's a 30-foot range.
Good question, actually.
Because it doesn't mechanically work the same way thaumaturgy does, I would say no.
Okay.
Especially with the water that's kind of moving. And again, it's not super loud, but it does kind of
It's more imposing
mute
than
things.
loud.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me either performance or persuasion, please.
Now go ahead and give me the deal with the devil instead. I want this to work.
Oh.
Already.
Oh, fuck
Yes.
yes.
So die if not. Also, it'd be funny.
That is amazing.
That's a great call, dude.
Well, this entire room is now dealt with. Because I had to walk this way, because I'm not climbing a fucking wall.
All because you're like, I don't want to climb the fucking wall.
I
It's in my backstory.
respect it so much.
So,
You're
that's epic.
getting an inspiration, and the confidence of which you were like, no, fuck you, I'm not rolling, I'm winning. I respect it heavily. So while you cannot see what is going on, you are able to hear some very confused. What the fuck? Oh God. Is not happy. Is not happy. And then whimperings and some kind of commotion of like clamoring and things kind of getting shuffled over, knocked over. A bit of buffoonery, like them kind of bumping into each other in this frantic state. Very fucking cool. And then what you would hear is, I'm actually going to message you this. And for our newer players, that is something that I will do from time to time, is either send messages with information that only your characters would be privy to, or we have the Drag Me Daddy channel where I will take you down and relay things privately between us. That is stuff that whatever information that you guys get through messages or in the Drag Down channel, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. You can either lie about it, you can share it, you can pretend nothing ever happened. It is entirely up to you what you do with it. That was fucking cool. Any questions or anything?
That don't like not moving. Is that
Say that one more time. Sorry, you were cutting out.
I'm not moving.
I'm not cutting out. I've muted myself again.
Oh, okay.
I need to stop doing that. I'm not moving anywhere, so am I done with my turn, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll carry on the not intimidation, impersonation next turn.
Beautiful. All right. Goblin 16 moves over here, pulling out his short bow. Is going to attack at you, Valor, with a 22 to hit. Another sharp pain in your left shoulder as you take 4 points of piercing damage. And he shouts something to the other goblin, and you watch as he rushes over here and begins to reach for one of the sticks or spears that is kind of plunged into the rocks and earth there. Oh, this wolf is actually gone for now. We're gonna get rid of that one. That brings us back to the top of round 1 with Thomas.
You're muted again.
I know.
God, we're good at this.
So is this actually the order of how things are? Right.
How do you the combat tracker?
I'm just looking at the map. I'm like, how do I even enter combat? 'Cause everyone's sort of in the way. I don't want to start shooting either.
So from where you are at, you've got a pretty good vantage point, probably the best of the group right now. You would see that below the bridge, the ground remains even and steady for a bit, but there are some more steps right over here that kind of curve around, and then another set of steps right here. So that path on the edge of the water curves around and upward, ascending. You don't see any of the creatures over there, you would have a vantage point of the body of water here, at the edge of the map right over here. But you would see that there is another way around that potentially meets up with where they're heading, maybe.
Okay. Go the other way. Go.
My hard work. Go away. I've got this.
Okay. I then jump down because I'll probably kill myself.
You can give me an acrobatics check to see if you can land carefully and take minimal damage.
So let's see if I can get a 1 on acrobatics. Let's go.
We have inspiration dice. You've had to get 4 ones.
No, it's all right. I can fail. Give me a chance. Oh, fuck you.
Oh,
Go fuck
beautiful,
yourself.
beautiful. What we're going to do, because it is still a 20-foot drop, we're going to roll a d6 and half it. You're going to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Only I could.
Kind of like spraining a little bit of like your pinky toe, maybe. And that's just because the
Alright.
ground is hard beneath. Is that workable?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's a monk move.
Can I come to this bit? Shoot this guy?
Absolutely.
Will it be a sneak attack?
So, he is unaware of your presence, so yes, you would have advantage on it, which would give you the sneak attack damage on a hit.
So. Probably.
So
Right,
bottom left, you'll hit the ADV,
I got it.
and then damage,
Yeah.
or attack, yeah.
Just cycling through all the tabs now.
That is a hit.
What the hell? That's not fair.
And you sneaked out.
And another d6. 9, 13. Any preference on how you dispatch of this goblin?
I'm just going to be elated that I managed to kill something and, not kill myself in the process.
Beautiful.
If I'm completely honest with you, I was
I-
like, yes, this time.
Beautiful. So, Valor, what you would see is...
I'm
as
going to
this-
hit him in the... There you go.
You're gonna hit him in the what? In the face?
In the chest.
In the chest? Okay.
Simple and simple.
So
Shot
as
through the heart.
and you're to blame. As this goblin has started the process of turning into a human pincushion and turning to reach for this lever, essentially, you hear the soft whiz of a bolt and the sound of pierced flesh and a quick ah before the goblin's body collapses and kind of tumbles down the stairs a bit.
Huh. Well, yeah.
16.
I'm assuming there's not much else I could do now.
You've got a little bit more movement if you wanted to go further up.
16 is dead, right?
Yeah, I'm removing him right now.
Okay.
I'm going to move further back.
Okay.
Can't you? Don't you have cunning actions as well? Can't you bonus action hide? Just to make sure. nobody
Oh,
knows where
hide.
you are.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Hide.
Okay.
Sorry.
Beautiful. And for this one, I will not even make you roll. You are pretty confident that there's no one that has seen what you have just done, save for your god.
Okay.
Okay.
Grazie.
De nada. That is going to bring us to Wolf 12, who can't really get in there because he cannot be in the shared space. he's going to move a bit. And flavor-wise, because they're not incredibly intelligent creatures, he's not going to ready an action, but what for flavor-wise, he's kind of lunging forward and snapping and biting at the open air, trying to get around the other wolf in front of him. That's going to bring us to Valor, with Umaril on deck.
So that means I can't go around the wolf either, right?
Correct. If you wanted to try and shove him out of the way, you could, so that you've got a little more wiggle room.
Would that use up an action, though?
It would be a shove action, yeah. Sorry, I know cave combat sucks.
When you talk about it, I've had a great time so far.
Give me 1 second.
No problem. And what we will probably do is we'll finish this round and we may go one more and then wrap the session. So we can start getting dinner and stuff ready for the kids, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
What does the, just because I've never really done this before, what does the grapple option of your unarmed strike mean? Can I do a unarmed strike and also grapple them if I hit? Is that what it means?
So if it's a hit, then it would basically be a grapple instead of an attack. Does that make sense?
So dexterous attacks under martial arts says, in addition, when you use the grapple or shove option of your unarmed strike,
Yeah, so
use your dexterity. Go ahead.
if you do so you have three choices with an unarmed strike. You can do damage, which is an attack roll, or you can grapple, which causes the target to make a saving throw. It's not an attack roll. Or you could shove, which also causes the target to make a saving throw and is not an attack.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But monks, we can do it as a bonus action, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm
You
gonna
can
bonus
do
action.
that as a bonus action. That's right.
I'm gonna So Valor will bonus action grapple this wolf.
To grapple, not shove, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And they are going to do a dex save. What is your DC?
That is. What is grappling rules again in 2024?
It's 8. The DC is 8 plus your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
So
8 plus.
14. Okay, and then with their modifier, okay. That is a meets it, beats it, my dear.
Would me saying like to the okay, I should have said it before.
Well,
I basically want to tell this wolf like we are not here for you. We have come for your like people that are controlling them or whatever, like keeping them hostage. But whatever. I'm just gonna brutally murder this wolf then.
Okay.
I'll pull out my short sword and I'll attack him.
okay. That is a hit. As you had initially gone in to hug him, feeling the resistance with max damage. Very, very nice. Instantly being upset by the rejection from this wolf, he takes another 10 points of piercing damage, crying out in pain as your blade slashes into him.
Okay, not dead yet. Okay. Then I'll pull out my dagger as well in my other hand,
Mhm.
and with advantage, I'll attack it.
Okay. That is a hit.
I used the thrown one. I didn't mean to use the thrown one.
That's
but
okay.
I stabby.
Baylor, how would you like to do this?
I didn't want to kill you, but get the frick out of my way. And I just slash its chest and toss him to the side, I guess.
Okay, beautiful. So.
And then Valor will give like a menacing look to the other wolf, like I don't mean harm, but stay the frick out of my way type of thing.
Okay.
Type of look.
Okay. I will allow an intimidation roll. The DC, taken into consideration that he does not understand what you are saying, is being taken into consideration.
That could be.
Not bad.
Today I don't.
Okay. You watch as the ears fold back as the teeth become even more visible as he curls his lips and continues to snarl. Any movements?
Valor will use the rest of his movement to come right here. And if he can, he maybe like try to reach out with his left hand and kind of like pet the wolf on his head or something.
Okay. Go ahead and I'll allow an animal handling at disadvantage as you had just intimidated him. He snaps at your fingers. You feel the droplets of spit kind of slash onto your hands as his maw snaps shut around, or not around you, but at your hands, as he continues to growl and take a ready to pounce stance.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Beautiful. Umaril with Bliss on deck.
Okay. My character does not know that the goblins have kind of been dealt with here, so he's gonna continue going left. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take my dash action to kind of get as close as I can.
Okay. So that'll give you 12 squares of movement. Would you please stop chewing my chair?
Oh, also I have to roll a sorry, I'm just gonna do this. I have to roll a con save for the damage I took.
Oh, that's right, for your
Concentrate
favorite
on
enemy.
Hunter's Mark. I'm good.
Okay. So as you round the bend, go ahead.
Okay. No, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, did you have a question?
No. I don't.
Okay.
Oh, another player token.
So as you turn the corner, you see that this tunnel kind of opens up into a small chamber. What you see is that towards the back right here is a set of stone and earthen stairs that goes up. The weird markings here along the edge there are a ledge that goes up about 6 feet. And there are 5 goblins on the lower section of the floor in here that are kind of on their knees, swaying back and forth and speaking frantically in a language that you don't speak Goblin, do you?
I do not.
Okay. In a language that you do not know. You would see that the 2 goblins up here, the smaller of the 2 is looking very, very concerned and kind of muttering to himself as this goblin here is looking around very, very confused, looking up and speaking to the ceiling of this chamber. And then there is a human male on the floor between them who is not looking great. You also see that your very tired, sassy new friend, Karin, is here. Just I imagine like you would just see like the eyes, almost like Wilson from Home Improvement, just the eyes looking up over the ledge.
I'm gonna like ask and say, what in Oblivion happened here? You know, kind of confused a little bit.
I'm God here. That's all I'm gonna say.
He gives you,
Not
he
even
gives you
looking-
like
not even
a,
looking
he just gives you
forward.
like a side eye.
Look, I'm persuasive apparently. We'll just stay here, and I'm gonna try one more thing, and we'll see what happens. Maybe it results in death. Probably theirs.
Yeah, there's nothing really more I can really. Actually, is message a bonus action? No, it's an action. Never mind. All right, I had my turn.
Okay, beautiful.
Feel free to ready a shot. Doesn't.
And that is going to bring us to Bliss with Goblin 34, and then Basil on deck.
Alright, so I know I know this is confusing stuff, but can you remind me again, how does like moving past another character's space work? So like I was 5 feet moves me to here.
And it will not be, and this is just my table. I know like other DMs and other tables, it'll be half or double movement. But as long as your ally is willing to squeeze tight or go nut to butt to allow you to pass, I will allow you to pass, as long as you are not sharing a space with the ally, unless you are small, or sharing a space with an enemy. So if you wanted to get past Valor, you could come over to the right of him.
So I could go
right
down
there.
this way.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So this would be 1, 2, 3 squares, and we do not use flanking. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So then it doesn't really matter where I go. Go with here. And I'm getting a view of this room.
Oh, you are. Yes, sorry, I was looking at. So what you see in here, let me bring this up. Doop. See if any of them would be in your line of sight. Okay. So what you see in that room, close this out. The earthen steps ascend up into what appears to be another chamber of sorts. You would see that there is light coming somewhere from over in the area that is out of your vision. What you can see is just like the outer edges of some crates and provision barrels there. You see that right here, and I'm actually going to draw instead of pinging. Right here is a very...
Oh, I'm not seeing the drawing.
Can you not see the pink line? Okay, I'll ping.
No pink line.
Okay, right here.
Okay, got it. I can see that.
Perfect. Okay, that's weird that the drawing didn't show up. What you see is a very poorly carved chair. More grandiose in size. A very crude throne, if you will. Carved from stone and adorned with wood. Little glistenings that kind of ping light off from the dancing light source inside signify that perhaps there's some gems or coins of sorts embedded into and around the chair.
All right. Good to know. I'm not seeing any additional goblins or wolves at the moment in the southeast direction. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. So I'm gonna deal with the one that's in front of me.
Okay.
Punchy. Okay, hang on. I have to switch over to character sheet. One moment. Okay.
That is, let me double check. That is a hit.
All right. And then I do that.
Max damage.
And then bonus action.
Oh, beautiful. That barely hits, just barely. Max damage, so rather than 12, that will be 16 points of bludgeoning damage. Bliss, how would you like to do this?
All right, so Bliss rounds on the goblin, and gives sort of like a spinning kick, knocking the goblin sort of off balance, and then with his claws, his feline claws, slashes out at the goblin's like chest area, draws out like a chunk of flesh, and offers it to the wolf.
Oh, yes.
And sort of like if you could sort of throw, so as the goblin goes down, it's gonna like throw the chunk of goblin meat at the wolf.
With the natural 20, I would absolutely allow that. And let's see if this wolf is
And
going to
say,
take it.
are you a good boy too? So should I roll like an animal handling or something like that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me animal handling.
And I'll. What does that add up to? Too many windows open. 14. I'll add a. I'll add an. No, that's the wrong kind of inspiration. Never mind.
Okay.
I was thinking bardic like inspiration where you add a dice to it, but this would just be a reroll.
If you were wanting to reroll, okay, absolutely. And I know we don't have any bards at the tables, but if anybody multi-classes into bard, with bardic inspiration, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like magic inspiration or something like that. So if somebody has given you bardic inspiration, you can use that d6 to add to your damage dice for magical ability. So if you cast something that does damage, you can use that bardic inspiration to add to damage rather than an ability check or anything like that. So just something to keep in mind. With the 14, the wolf sniffs at the meat and goes momentarily to bite at it, but you see his eyes go back up to Valor, and he ignores the meat in front of him.
Alrighty, and
This is why I shouldn't talk. Even with drinking animals, I suck.
and I've got a little bit more movement.
Okay,
So I'm going to scout around this way to just to clear out the passageway so that Basil can get through, and to kind of take a little glance around the corner.
Seeing more of the room, you see that right here is a campfire. This is the light source that has illuminated the chamber here. Along the back wall is a substantial amount of crates and boxes and parcels and bags that are in different stages of being sifted through. Nothing has been pulled out per se that's on the ground. You see that maybe there's a couple like water skins and things like that, a couple sleeping bags. But the lids have been pulled off of some of these crates, and some of the packing stuffing that's in there is kind of scattered along the floor in that area. Give me a perception check, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you trying to be quiet at all, or are you just trying to get the information that you can get?
I don't really think I can try to hide as a.
Oh,
use my action.
No,
my bonus
yeah,
action.
not as that, but are you trying to move quietly?
Yeah, I mean, like my goal is what I was thinking. I wanted to see if there were enemies in the
Okay.
room.
Okay.
Whether we had whether we were going to get attacked from that direction
Okay.
was my goal.
Beautiful. One more. Give me a stealth check, please. And then let me double check this. Okay. As you begin to step up the stairs there, why is he... Here we go. Okay, let me double check this. You hear some soft speaking in the what you now assume to be goblin, and it stops suddenly as there's a bit of earth that kind of breaks off as you kind of lose your footing slightly, stepping up the steps and have to kind of catch yourself on the wall. The voices stop. They were coming from off to the side here.
All right, over to here. Then that's all my 40 feet, and I'm done.
Okay, that is going to bring us to Basil with Quill.
Okay,
I think I might say no, because I'm trying to be quiet. Never mind. Sorry, Basil, you're up.
the wolf is still aggressive, correct?
Correct. And you can hear the guttural throat growling coming from around the corner.
Okay, I want to use a gnomish spell called Speak with Animals.
Ooh.
I don't know how to roll that.
Let me double check the verbiage on it. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Like a wisdom save or something on the wolf would have to roll it or something.
I don't think there's a role for speak
Yeah,
with animals.
you were just able to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Speak
yeah.
with animals just happens. I mean,
Yeah,
you still have
that's-
to use. They don't do whatever you want, but you can
You can
talk to them.
communicate with them, yeah. Okay.
Okay, first I'm gonna move over here
Okay.
and I'm gonna speak with the wolf. I'm gonna say, friend, relax. We are not your enemies. We're merely defending ourselves. Your enemies are the goblins. They're the ones that enslaved you, chained you up, and starved you. So if you want to be fed, you should eat the goblins. Run and tell your friends that we are not your enemies. And we
love
have
it.
before let some wolves go, right?
You fed them.
We
They are
did not
still
let them
chained,
go.
but they've been fed.
We fed them.
Okay. Go check with your friends in the front of the cave. We fed them. Like we would feed you with goblin meat.
I love that. Give me a persuasion check. I'm going to give you a +5 to this. Valor, what you see as Basil comes squeezing past you is... I kind of course, add to edit whatever it is that you see. Okay, so 10.
I think you got inspiration if you want to use it.
Yes. But you would see Basil come up, and I imagine it kind of moving slowly, hands up, kind of showing that you mean no harm, and slowly and respectfully approaching this wolf. who at this point, before you start speaking, is kind of looking back and forth between the two of you. And then Basil begins to growl and sound just like a wolf does. Did you want to use inspiration at all on that, Basil?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
just clicked the inspiration off and rolled.
And reroll again, yeah.
What it was? Persuasion.
Correct.
Oh.
Okay, so 14. Much better. So as you say this, as the wolf looks to you, you watch those eyes, which had initially been filled with rage and anger, and which you know to be the predatory instinct to kill. The fight or flight has kicked in, and my dude is fighting. But it softens as he turns his gaze from Valor to you. You hear through the growls, words begin to form. You will not attack me, should I trust your words. Your friend here, he says, as he snarls with more intensity, almost barking, as he looks towards Valor, has slain one of my kin.
And I put my hand up to Balar, motioning him to lower his weapons. And I say, that's right, we won't attack you or your kin anymore, as long as you don't attack us. The goblins are our common enemy. You can trust me.
He slowly, you watch his tail drop and begin to hang between his legs as he slowly begins to back away from you. Eyes going back and forth between you and Valor. Valor, did you drop your weapon at all, or are you still readied and watching?
He'll lower his weapon and kind of like sort of like hump over and like a bow type maneuver, I guess.
The wolf growls a bit more, but then pauses, and you watch as he turns to leave, slightly whimpering before stopping and looking back towards you. It is in your best interest that your words are true. And he will quickly begin to, on his turn, will make his leave. And what were you saying?
I meet his eyes and I bow my head.
Point of inspiration, Basil.
Thank you.
Very fucking cool. We'll see how this plays out when this wolf comes charging down the tunnel with Tomas down there, not knowing what has just taken place. Very fucking cool.
The gnome has brought me a rabbit to eat.
Dinner! Or it's like Maui and Moana, boat snack!
So you need to show me how you speak so influentially.
It is a gift of my people.
Fucking sick. Anything else for your turn, hun?
Yeah, I'll just move over here to do my full movement.
Okay, beautiful. And you would see, much like I described to Bliss, that the stairs ascend up slightly. It's not a drastic climb of the steps or anything, maybe 5 or 6 feet up. But this chamber opens up. You cannot see how big it is or how far back it goes on the other side, but you see that there is a plethora of crates and goods in here, with a very shitty, poorly made throne, or what could potentially be called a throne.
Okay.
That brings us to Karin, and I can't wait to see what you fucking do here. You are muted, love.
Every time. I will send Quill. I'm trying not to make noise when I'm eating on other people's turns. I'll send Quill back over to the group so that he can help in any way he can, probably just by flying in people's faces again.
Okay.
And with my turn, I'm going to use Minor Illusion the same way as last time. And how do I word this? You are all a disgrace, yet I have mercy for one, and one alone. Prove which one is the most deserving. Goblin fight goblin, until my champion remains. And I'm going to try and convince them to kill each other.
All right, go ahead and roll a persuasion. I will give
God, I
you
really wish I
advantage
chose
on this one. One of them is going to be inciting, but only one, and I'm not going to explain why. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
It's
Nice reward me being an idiot.
it's crazy how a cantrip can do the same thing as like a mass suggestion spell.
As long
Yeah.
as I haven't been spotted, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. That is fucking crazy. You would hear the prayers cease as there is more confusion. And Umaril, you would watch as these goblins begin to look at each other. Let me see. But then, you notice that as the larger one atop is looking down and around, you watch from his profile as he's scanning. His eyes, without turning his face, turn towards you. And that is where we are going to end this session. Y'all are fucking wild. That was really fucking awesome. Let me end my stream. Thank you guys for watching. This group will be back next Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye, everybody.